Hi, this is Father Barry, and it's day 5 of our day to day with St. Joseph. We made it through Monday through Friday, I suppose, huh? During this week, a feast of the church came, the 40th day after Christmas, the Feast of the Presentation. So I'm going to talk about it today, even though it just passed. Feast of Candlemas, because Jesus is the light to the Gentiles. Remember Simeon? He receives the child Jesus in the temple in Jerusalem in a ritual ceremony for the cleanliness of Mary. And then the child, the firstborn child that's opened up the womb, he's presented. It's like he's presented in a redeeming ritual, going back to the law. And February 2nd is that day on the church calendar. Mary and Joseph historically then would have taken a trip from Bethlehem up to Jerusalem. After 33 days, her ritual uncleanliness is over, and now she can go up to Jerusalem where they wanted to go. They wanted to go up there, this family up there. They know the priests up there. They want to bless the child up there. This is not just a legal thing, it's a holy thing for them to do, to follow the Jewish law. It's interesting that Mary makes a sin offering by doing this with Joseph. And Joseph will provide the sin offering, which would be 2 turtle doves. He could have also offered a lamb if he was well off, but he wasn't. 2 turtle doves. Now, this idea of sin offering, well, Mary was sinless, so did they have to do it? No, it was done to fulfill the law. Just like Jesus being baptized in the Jordan didn't need it. He was sinless, but he does it to fulfill the law. And so fulfilling the law is an important thing when it comes to Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. By the way, they're right behind me there in the icon. That's from the Philippines. It was given to me a number of years ago. It comes from the World Meeting of Families, the 4th World Meeting, an icon that was made for that. And I've had it ever since. Someone gave it to me. And so we're going to use it now and then in the background during this Joseph year, okay? Jesus is more than 40 days old there, okay? He's already walking. And I know Jesus learned how to do things faster because he was sinless, and his humanity was blessed in a very the most favorable way because of who he was. But I don't think he was walking in 40 days. So he was actually carried, and then he was put in the arms of Simeon, and Simeon has this look on his face, and Joseph is like, what? And Simeon says, now I have seen the salvation has come, the Messiah, the light of the Jews, the light of the Gentiles, the hope of Israel, the Jews. And Joseph is just amazed at those words. As Joseph is up there in Jerusalem at the temple with Mary, they meet some of her family because she comes from there. She knows the priests. And so Simeon isn't necessarily a priest, but he's some holy man that does these rites. And there's another woman present, if you remember the gospel story. Anna is there, and an older woman, and she's called a prophetess because she actually gives a prophecy at the moment about the child, about Mary. And we hear in that prophecy that Mary must have had a vision with it of the cross and the sword that pierces her. And from that point on, she understands her heart and the heart of this little one, Jesus. They're intertwined, and we call that the Immaculate Heart of Mary and Sacred Heart of Jesus. Not to leave Joseph out, especially because this is his program, but he's in the presence of those 2 holy hearts. But he loves them both dearly, and he will fill those hearts with lots of love and care and goodness. So there's Joseph, and the presentation is called a paristane, which is an offering. So this is an offering, and I find it interesting that Joseph is looking at the temple and he's thinking, if this man becomes a priest, he'll be making offerings, maybe here, like some of Mary's family. And he just wonders, I think with Joseph too, he wouldn't know, but Jesus is presented in a temple that 66 years later will come toppling down in fulfillment of a prophecy Jesus makes. And that temple had been there since the time of Nehemiah and Ezra, and the rebuilt temple, and a rebuilt temple in the place where the original temple of Solomon was. And well, all of that, I guess, has to do with the presentation, and I'm trying to give you just some background. So the turtle doves are often depicted in pictures with Joseph and Mary and the child. I've seen turtle doves in a number of places representing Jesus' priesthood in some way. I've seen them on priest vestments. I've seen them on Josephite and Joseph orders, religious orders. I've seen them wearing them, connections to Joseph. One of the things about the turtle doves that kind of gives a secret out is that the Magi had not yet come 40 days into Jesus' life, because Joseph wouldn't have given the cheaper offering at the temple, which would have been the turtle doves. He would have been able to afford a lamb for his wife and child, because the Magi would have arrived with all these gifts, and they were able to then upgrade. But because he's given the turtle doves, it tells us that they're going back to Bethlehem, and the Magi are still on the way, and the star probably not yet in the sky, at least not for them. If it is, well, they must have said, hey, look at that star. But the Magi are nowhere nearby, not yet. Well, I am with a close-up here, and I wanted to shoot Joseph and Jesus in the shot. And just say that Joseph, as he gets to the end of his visit with the child Jesus, they're going to go back now to Bethlehem and figure out where to go from there. The lessons he gets, though, is prophetic stories, and is my son going to be a prophet? It's the offering, the paristane, and the offering of the child, the firstborn in the law. He remembers the story of Abraham and Isaac offering in that same place. Who is this son of mine? And the offering of a child with the hope for the Redeemer to come, pleading God to send the Redeemer when you're doing an act of presentation like they did. All of that must have been in his mind as they made the 7 or 8 mile trip back down to Bethlehem. And I think he would have been pondering too, do we go back to Nazareth or not? The child's still too young really to travel. They're not forced now to travel. But in another tape, I'll talk about the disposition of the town in Nazareth to Mary and Joseph and this child they were expecting. Lastly, take a look at a book. I'll put it on the side here for you to look at the title. I'd like you to get this book by February 15th, Spiritual Consecration to St. Joseph. Just a very informative and inspirational book on Joseph that I'd like everyone to have. You have to buy it yourself. If you want to go direct to the National Shrine of Divine Mercy in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, you can get it there, or you can order online in many different fashions.